Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to that episode of Talk About Talk Official Podcast. I am your host, Juice, aka The Ordinary
All right, what's
Brother.
good, world? I go by the name of King Exodus. Welcome back to your favorite show. Thank you for your time. Your time will not be wasted. That is your most important asset, your time. So, for everybody that's watching this for the first time, welcome home. Go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel. More content is available. So, little quick talk. You know how we do it. Before we get into the main event, Takashi 6ix9ine, Mr. 6ix9ine. So, young man went to work out in the gym in Florida. Uh, he had on his hoochie daddies. Them shorts were shortened. You know what I'm saying? So he got touched. You know, he got some hands put on him. He got jumped by a few individuals. Pretty bad. Messed up his face. So, a lot of people was hyped about it. Like, finally, somebody got him. However, you have another crowd of people that sees it all as stupidity, right? Me personally, I feel as though, and it's not just for black people, it's people that's come from this quote-unquote street culture. Like, I feel as though this is the culture that we choose to prioritize over any other culture that's productive. And a lot of times we don't even put in the work to even try to make that a positive portion of the culture. Like, we don't try to like clean up that image and clean up those actions, but we represent it and we live and die, quote unquote, behind these principles and morals. I'm gonna be honest, it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, word is out that dude is a snitch because he snitched on a gang that supposedly he was a part of when he really wasn't. But he snitched on a group of individuals that disrespected him. Fucked his girlfriend, stole money from him. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
These are the people that he told him. And
Exactly.
people are saying he's a snitch, right? Because he cooperated to get a shorter sentence. Now, the definition of a snitch would be an individual that's a criminal as well, involved in criminal activity, and snitches on the other party involved in the crime to get a shorter sentence. That's a snitch. He's just a guy that cooperated and told. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think that's like the same thing, but nonetheless, he has done a lot of disrespectful things to prominent figures within communities. He's disrespected a lot of rappers that have status. And I'm not saying he's not wrong for anything, but what's wrong? Him talking shit, breaking street codes, violations, or black people still getting killed by the police? Black people still getting killed by just random white individuals, anybody who just feels like killing a black person today. So somebody made a comment, yo, 6ix9ine got touched, but Zimmerman's still walking around here free, like untouched, safe. Like at some point, our means to get justice aren't prioritized correctly. I'm not saying don't uphold people by street law that's involved in street activities, but what I am saying is just utilize some of that energy for shit that actually matters, like our culture, our race. Let's have that same type of energy when someone disrespects like one of our women that's in our culture. You know what I mean? Like, let's have the same energy of getting quote unquote street justice to things that actually matter. So you got it.
Well, how do I feel about the situation? I'll be honest. There's a lot of mixed emotions about it. Some people's just like, he got what he deserved, and some people's like, dude's just living his life. Like, who cares? Like, we know he's gonna troll. For myself, I'll be completely honest. I didn't care for it. I feel like if you do put yourself in certain situations, then there is karma, repercussions for it. But him actually getting assaulted at the same time for it, like, I didn't care whether it was people celebrated or people didn't care. It was just like I just went on with my life. Like I said, the 6ix9ine situation. I also look at it like, how can you say? I also look at it like you can tell where people home in their energy and attention on certain activities just from that. You know what I'm saying? For instance, like how you were saying, like, hey, if you're, you're a snitch if you do certain things. But we always say, like, in certain worlds, if you're a civilian, being involved in certain activities, you cooperating is not, like you said, not you snitching. But if you go down certain paths and you do certain things, a code of conduct is required of you or expected of you. So, like I said, the 6ix9ine situation, it really didn't bother me. I mean, at the same time, I don't celebrate it. I didn't really much care for it, but it's like I said, it's just something we know what people do for attention. You can see some people go to greater lengths for attention. We forget that some people parade on people's graves. Some people actually do the most conniving things on media. But like I said, when that individual had got attacked in the gym, I was just like, okay, like people asking me how do I feel about it. People was dropping the picture in different chats I was in, different the blogs I was in, like, what do y'all think about it? Everybody was like, well, justice was served, this and that. But like you said, I still remember people were saying like, but George Zimmerman is the most dangerous person in Florida, not 6ix9ine. And nobody wanted to talk about that part. So.
All righty. So tonight's topic, understanding resistance. I would say personal life experiences, no doubt. Past couple of years, I've seen a lot of individuals who want better for themselves. They get involved in business, investing. They, they take financial risks. They do all types of things. They go out and get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? All for some type of improvement within their life. And what tends to happen is they meet a pocket of resistance somewhere down the line. Maybe not once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, let's just say. All right, cool. So when people encounter resistance, they think that something's wrong, and it's a sign that I gotta quit. This not for me if it's not working for me. Like, I need something to flow. A relationship shouldn't be problematic at all. It should be perfect. Like, my energy should match their energy, and we should just flow. We shouldn't argue. We should agree on everything. Like, everything should work out. If you're working your job and that's the job for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have no complications at work. You know what I'm saying? The first time something go wrong, you're like, oh, God gave me a sign. Hey, it's time for this. It's time for that. And it's like, we move quickly when we meet any type of adversity. And we live by these types of thinking on average, which is why probably people stay average and don't really reach their full potential. It's because they don't know how to accomplish anything. They don't know how to go through the full 360-degree changes of anything. You just want to pick the good 180 and stick to that side of the vortex. Like, you don't want to go through the whole complete 360. So I feel like this would be a great conversation because a lot of people is really just, like I said, they quit before they even really actually try to accomplish anything. So let's have a talk, man. What you got on resistance?
Oh man, resistance is a builder, or resistance is a crusher. I'll say it just like that. We're gonna go different stages where you get tested, and I talk about this often. The different tests in life, either you fail it and become smarter and then pass it, or you'll fail it and just let yourself keep failing every test behind it. I had a situation happen today. This is my opening. I had a situation happen today. I was on my way to work, and I was like, bro, something's going on with my tire. I'm not sure what it is. Something's going on with my tire. So as I'm driving, I called my manager. I was like, hey, something's going on with my car. I don't know what it is. It's like I hear something rubbing together. It seems like my car's leaning to the side. I said, I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. Immediately, this guy was like, oh, man, like, you always got some situation going on. I was like, yo, we're not going to do that. I said, I didn't put my time in work. I outwork most majority of people at this department and most people at this position. I was like, I'm going to need some time right now. So I did him a little favor. As I'm driving, I'm recording. I got the hazard lights on. To steer, for me to steer straight, I had to steer like this. But for me to steer straight, I had to steer like this. I said, okay, something's going on with this car. I ended up landing that discount tire. I went there earlier this week, and they were like, "Hey, you need new tires on your car." I was like, "They're probably just trying to sell me." But at the same time, I can also take the account to put air pressure in some of my tires. So
Oh,
that means there was a leakage at the same time. So I go there. They're like, "Hey, you're gonna need four new tires." Cool. Walk in there, four new tires. Pay for it. That's a stack out of my pocket. And then before that happened, we go under the car. He's like, "Hey, your tie rod, your back axle, your axle, all that smashed against your tire. That's why your tire is broken. Yeah, you smell that? That's the oil." He said, "That's your brake pad oil leaking inside." I'm like, "All right, whatever." So the whole time I'm going through it, I'm smiling too. I was like, "This is what I got insurance for." I put insurance on everything. Shit, I put insurance on hot sauce. What is it? A1 steak sauce? I mean, red hot, I put that shit on everything. And listen, I put insurance on everything. Listen, marry me today, I'm putting life insurance on your body. Anyway, so so as I'm moving forward as more things are happening to me. I call my insurance company like, "Hey, I got this going on with my car and this and that." And as I'm reading my policy, I'm also reading the situations that go on, what they cover. So I immediately say what's going on with that situation. I get it towed to the place. I get a quote. They're like, "Yes, sir. Right now you're looking at paying about $2,000 to get your car fixed." I said, "Wait, what?" "Yeah, I just paid $1,000 for my tires, man. I don't know if I want to pay that right now." You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was talking to an individual there. We had a good relationship. He was like, "I work with you." So he ended up getting the quote back. Um, and it was my insurance was knocking down by $1,000. So I ended up paying today like almost like $2,200 just on car maintenance. So in the meantime, I'm bugged out. I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go home. I can't be productive and make money. So I'm gonna be productive and just do schoolwork." So the whole time since 10 o'clock, I've been taking nothing but tests. I took 11 tests today just on schoolwork. And my quizzes are not even supposed to be turned into May 21st, but I always look at the situation like, look, when you go through something in the worst times, what you do then defines what your character is, who you forever going to be. I'd have been in situations I'm really like freaked out, but I got other people around me. I can't show it on my face. I got to learn how to, deal with adversity. It's tough times like that that's going to create who you are. So, and the whole time, like I said, I'm not making money. I just decided to be productive. Did 11 tests. It's not like I can take 11 tests all at once. I have to watch videos before every test. There's some videos that's 15 minutes, some videos 30 minutes. So you got to remember, I'm at the computer since 10 o'clock this morning, just taking tests, reading my book, taking tests, reading my book, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's times like this that, even though I was bummed out that I missed time to make money, but I was also appreciative that I did all my necessary steps to cover my finances and put myself back in motion for tomorrow. It was just like, damn, this is what I built myself off of, is knowing how to proceed in any type of situation that goes on in my life. The resistance is there. And how you deal with it really is going to set you apart. I remember times when resistance like that used to hit me, I would just literally try to force myself to go to sleep, be like, all right, tomorrow's going to be the new day. A lot of people try to sleep that shit off. It's just to sleep, drink, smoke, whatever it is. You got to be productive. All this builds the discipline who's in you. This is why people gravitate to you, how leadership is developing, all that stuff. So that'll be my opening on resistance, just from the prime example of what happened to me today. Like, what are you going to do when it comes your way? How are you going to be more productive? How do you still move throughout and execute?
cool. Great intro. Great intro. The type of adversity that you made mention of is like pretty much the unknown happening while you trying to do good, doing something right, and boom, something just completely flies out of hand, and now you're faced with some type of adversity. I commend you for the way you utilize your time throughout that situation. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of times I had a car that was a demon. I swear that car was possessed.
They said demon.
Anybody that know me, you know about this car. So, me and this car is like the worst relationship you can ever have. It's like, I get beat up, I go back. I get beat up, I go back. I kept going back. Kept fixing the car, kept putting money into the car. It kept hitting me. Until, Eventually, I got out of that relationship, nonetheless. But what I'm trying to say is, financial adversity doesn't let you know when it's coming. Your car don't say, "Hey, tomorrow I think I'm gonna take a dive off the deep end." I'm just giving you a heads up. That way you could kind of like be ready. You know, I'm just looking out for you. No, life doesn't do that. Shit just happens.
Yeah.
So your initial response a lot of times tells you a lot about your character. You know what I'm saying? It's okay for people to have a shock value towards a situation. It's okay to kind of, be in a daze for a minute, but you got to get back up. You get hurt for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You get thrown off track for a little bit, that's fine, but you have to get back up. You have to come back. You know what I'm saying? The person that loses a battle is not the person that wins the fight the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because the first couple of rounds of this altercation isn't working in your favor does not mean that it's over. People have to look at life within that same capacity. You get what you want out of life, not based on what you feel you deserve. You get out of life what you work for. You have to work for shit. You have to make things happen. So getting hit with something that's unexpected has to be the norm. We have to start realizing as adults, this is life. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I commend you on how you handled the situation. A lot of people go through unexpected situations financially, and it throws them completely off. You know what I'm saying? It happened to me, you know what I'm saying, on one occasion in particularly, to where I felt like a lot of money that I had saved and a lot of money that I earned in one particular time period had gone. Car problems, shit in life, what different types of things just seem to happen consistently, back to back, back to back, back to back. And it sent me on a dark road. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, then people feel the need to escape more than figure out how to get through the resistance. It's like eventually, sometimes you just kind of sit in the middle of the storm and say, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will do that. So many things happen chaotically. They just embrace the chaos, respond to the chaos instead of responding to the solution of the problem to stop the chaos. So, like I say, financial situations can make or break people. It's all about how you handle it. One thing that, you know what I'm saying, hustlers will say that come from a different type of environment is you make the most money in the drought. You know what I'm saying? Like, these type of philosophies actually get people through, even if they transition or not, or even if they never had to transition from that type of lifestyle. But being in situations when you're back against the wall financially, it adds character to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? There was an educator that was giving a speech, and he was saying that we have to raise awareness of education. That way, when people want to become rich, millionaires, whatever, they don't have to go through the adversity that the person went through prior, right? So it's kind of like their spin on evaluating, I would say, bringing more awareness to education, financial literacy, all these different types of things. But for every great story, sometimes we have rough beginnings. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan, probably the greatest basketball player of all time. He wasn't born rich. You know what I'm saying? He was born in poverty, poor family. They say 50 Cent got shot 9 times. Maybe the 9 bullets is what helped him escape poverty because of this type of experience. Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying, didn't grow up in a pretty situation. Mike Tyson, you had people that was taken away from their families, went through the system, and then from going through the system, they find a boxing coach, or they find somebody that makes their life 10 times better. So what I'm saying is, a lot of times we have to appreciate the resistance. This is the only way you grow. You know what I'm saying? Napoleon Hill, nothing makes a strong man but resistance. He speaks a lot about resistance. So when you go into that personal development route, it's the resistance that makes you stronger. It's how you respond to it. So I'll let you take it.
Oh, man. Like I said, resistance is going to affect your body in many different ways. It's best to identify what happens when you're going through a stage of resistance or stress, and then know you're going through it and you know how to handle it. Like I told X before when we started this podcast, I said, look, bro, I don't think I was stressing today, but my body's kind of reacting different, right? Is that pressure is made for the shoulders, not for the hips. You know what I'm saying? Chest is made for the shoulders, not the hips. I remember kind of like being a little tensed up as I was walking. And I said, okay, maybe I was stressed out today, but my mentality at the same time was just Hey, look, shit happens. We're gonna get through it. That's just how I always have moved in my life. I don't know how to tell people. Like I said, if I had any type of superpower, it would be like I guess the power of perseverance. Man, I'm always trying to persevere no matter what happens to me. People always looked at me weird, like, yo, your car messed up, you done lost money here, somebody betrayed you, and you always looking at the brighter side. Like, what you, Captain America? I don't know if y'all ever seen Captain America, but in those comics, man, and in some of those movies, he always was looking at the brighter side of everything, just like Hey Arnold. He always say, well, Hey Arnold, it'll be a big situation happen. And Gerald always like, hey Arnold, how else you always gotta look at the bright side? He's like, hey, well, somebody has to. You know what I'm saying? But there can always be too much optimism to where it's become delusion. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite quotes I started living by that just came out recently. It said, "A child dreams, an adult plans." You got to plan for shit, even when it doesn't happen. When something doesn't happen, you should have a plan for it regardless. As crazy as that sounds, most people do. Yeah, expect the unexpected. Be able to move through any maneuver in any situation or circumstances. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes people seem more untouchable or incredible. You have, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever seen when comedians get on stage and, they start talking about the crowd. You know what I'm saying? The crowd, they get on the crowd laugh, and somebody in that crowd might say something back, and then they just be like, all right, you got me. Or it's up for them to come up with something clever.
Mhm.
It's all about that happening of right now. You got to start building up on how you're going to react to things. Freezing too long, it's never a good thing, but at the same time, to pause and do the correct reaction, that's better. So I say that you freeze, pause, but learn how to do the correct reaction as your next step instead of staying frozen and not doing anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And keeping it there, one big thing that you brought up was stress. A lot of people will put themselves into like this self hypnosis to where they're feeding themselves positivity and like positive mantras, and this is how they get through. And like you say, hey, but your body says something different. You know what I'm saying? So you have the mind body connection, but sometimes you can try to be so positive mentally that it still kind of plays out to be negative, because sometimes you can't have the Mamba mentality. Yo, I'm really not injured right now. I can keep playing. Like, okay, so when you fall out on the court and they got to carry you off sometimes you just got to accept, yo, we hurt right now. And there's nothing wrong with it. I get it. We strong. We don't feel no pain. Novocaine lifestyle. I ain't saying the drugs, but you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we can feed ourselves so much it can work against us. So we still have to balance and be honest with ourselves. Like if we really just went through some traumatic shit, let's be real and be like, yeah, we really went through something right now. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself, and even the ways that you think is negative, it don't have to be negative. You're just being realistic with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I would say hyper optimism can actually turn into pessimism, because sometimes you really just got to be real about what just happened. Yo, that hurt me. That made me mad. That made me sad. I might want to cry. I might want to do this. You know what I'm saying? When you get impulsive reactions that lead straight to destruction and anger, 9 times out of 10 it's something we let build up. It's not nothing new that makes us snap, want to throw everything away, lose our shit, put everything online. Like that's not one or two incidents. That's a buildup of months and years of shit that we just kept letting build and build and build. Eventually, that boiling pot is gonna start running. The water gonna start coming out. The smoke alarm's gonna start going off. Like this shit is gonna happen. So let's stop looking at problems or going through traumatic experiences as being negative. Like we have to start realizing that that's just life. You know what I'm saying? And the traumatic don't mean life or death. You was on the trip and fucking plane crash. Like that doesn't always mean trauma. Sometimes somebody's just saying the wrong thing to you could have gave you trauma. It doesn't have to be on a scale of what we consider traumatic or heavy. Listen to your body. Be careful of what you feed your mind and listen to your mind at the same time. If you just went through something that made you feel a low vibrational wave of energy, well, let's be honest about it and let's correct it. Let's get through it. You're not going to get through something just because you're telling yourself you're getting through it. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you don't just jump in the water and say, I don't know how to swim, but I ain't going to drown. And then you just never drown because you're just telling yourself we're going to make. I understand mental capacity and the strength of the mind and all that, but sometimes you just got to be real with ourselves. So that's my cap on stress. And I would also say that sometimes we have to look at stress as being a good thing and not always a bad thing.
Right.
If you're going to the gym and you're trying to build muscle, let's keep it light. You're trying to build muscle. You're trying to do whatever. You're trying to lose weight. You're going to have to put your body through voluntary stress in order to achieve those goals. There's no other way. I mean, well, there's another way. Y'all can go to the doctor. You can go spit. You know, for every person that's in the gym doing the squats and the lunges and feel like they're going to pass out and throw up, it's somebody that just booked an appointment. It's always an easier route. I'm not going to cap. For somebody that...
We don't like those microwaves. We don't like microwaves.
Yeah,
we don't like microwaves.
You know what I'm saying? Then you hear my shit. Ding. I'm like, oh, shit. But for everybody that's learning and studying and working on themselves and working on the image, there's somebody out there probably got an easier route. You know what I'm saying? There's always alternatives, but these are the type of things that give you character and longevity, is being able to figure shit out. So that's the positive side of stress. Stress can really work for you. You never really know how intelligent you are or how powerful you are until it's tested. To whom much is given, much is tested. But a lot of times we just want the crown on our head. We don't want to feel the weight of the crown. Crown's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want the car, but you don't want to go through the stress of working, improving yourself, sleepless nights, and all these different types of things. And this is why we live in a society now where people will either, like we say, they go get surgeries, they find the easier routes. Instead of going to work for something, I'm going to just take what you got. It's easier. I just kill you out of hatred because you actually put in the work. You actually sacrificed your free time. While I was in the club chilling, living my best life, you was studying and working and grinding and paying for studio time for the rappers that's getting killed. You was out there doing all that. But since you shining a little bit too hard, I'm going to just take your shit and kill you. Like, this is the thinking mentality. So stress can be your best friend. Be it so that it's not toxic. Just utilize stress properly. So you got it.
Oh, man. I talk about customer service interaction I was having earlier today. So while I'm at Discount Tire, I'm calling my insurance. I talked to different insurance agencies. They were like, what's your number for your policy? I was like, I tell them my telephone number. They're like, Jonathan Fowler, you drive this so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so. I was like, yes, sir, that's me. You know what I'm saying? 3 different agents. Every time they ask for my number, my information pops up. Right? The minute I get the roadside assistant, seemed to be a little problem. You know what I'm saying? She was like, excuse me, sir, can I get the telephone number? I gave her my telephone number. She was like, and what is your name? I said, Jonathan Fowler. Okay, well, I just got to make sure I type it in. I was like, every other agent that just typed in my number knew exactly who they were speaking to. And I'm starting to catch myself. You know what I'm saying? I got other things in my mind that's starting to build up. And she was like, yes. I just got to confirm, and I got to make sure I input it into the system while I do your roadside. And then she was like, well, how many miles do you have on your car? If you don't know, you don't know. I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, I'm catching myself. But I'm like, hold up. I said, I'm tripping. She's just doing her job. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell, like, maybe she's not that experienced from what she's saying. So I had to start lightening up my energy because it annoyed me that 3 other previous agents had everything ready to go. But this agent is like, hey, I got to take my time. And what's the zip code you in? I was like, I just talked to the last agent. I said I wanted to talk to the specific location. Was they able to transfer the information over so that'd be quicker for you? So, I'm trying to say things that might seem like it's easier for her. At the same time, I could be seeming like a dick the whole time. Excuse my language. Just because of the way it's coming out. So, like I said, when certain things is on your mind and stress is there, you got to check your energy when you're speaking to other people because they can also be the ones that help you out or they can be the ones that make your day even longer. We got to remember that, right? Like the same guy that was at the mechanic shop that I had a good relationship with. that man helped me out. I said, listen, how can I be of service to you? Like, for everything that you're doing, I appreciate it. How can I be of service to you? This man said, listen, just do a Google review for me.
Service.
See, people don't understand. Service is what increases more service. And I was like, got it done. Google, Yelp, Yahoo, I did it all. Hey, it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that where somebody helps relieve stress from you. At least be able to, give us something back in return. Like, I don't think a lot of people will be thankful for those individuals who are able to take weight off their shoulders. Sometimes people feel like that's what you should do. You're my friend. That's what you should do. You're my lover. That's what you should do. You're my family. I don't think y'all understand, like, nobody has to do anything, right? So somebody asked me today that was like, hey, are you still doing your water diet? I said, nah, I would got me some good food today. I ain't gonna lie to you. I said, I would have got me some good food today. I said, listen, when everything doesn't happen, sometimes food makes me happy. Hey, if I break my water fast, so what? I'll do a 36-hour fast starting tomorrow. I won't eat till Saturday afternoon. So, but it's all about, like I said, some of those things that you do that are enjoyment and pleasures. Take those opportunities when you feel like you're going down, but don't ever overindulge in it. So that was like my little thing for myself today. I was like, I'm water fasting. Hey, listen, with this, let me go eat me a little something. I'll just do a 36-hour fast and eat Saturday afternoon. I'm known, like, every once in a while, Tuesdays I won't eat till Wednesday afternoon. Thursdays I won't eat till Friday afternoon. So it's nothing to just take a little day for myself, a little time for myself, just to make myself feel better. But like I said, I won't ever overindulge in it just because I'm stressed out.
Hey, beautiful, man, beautiful. Something that hit me while you was talking, it's like, yo, I suffer from it myself. A lot of us nowadays are spoiled. We have this spoiled mentality. Like, a lot of us, like me personally, I could come from adversity, challenging situations, and that can give me the motivation to be better, make more money, be smarter, do all these things. And if I meet similar resistance that I felt as though I escaped, oh, I'm hurt. I'm big hurt. I'm ready to throw away my books off my shelf. I'm ready to say fuck everything because I thought I got over this. This ain't supposed to be happening to me. Not me. It's me. Like, yo, I'm the kind of person, I'm so stubborn when it comes time, you know what I'm saying, in bad situations. I will talk to God and be like, yo, you doing this to me? It's me. Can I keep it real? What a bit, like, I fast, I pray, I do all this shit, I read, I study, I sacrifice, and you gonna let this happen to me? That's my type of vibe. I be on that kind of time. And I have to check myself, and it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, life don't owe you shit. You get out of life what you work for. And even if you felt like you work for something and you ain't get it, you keep working if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? We might have to switch certain things around, whatever, but fuck that. You get out of life what you work for, what you earn. Blood, sweat, and tears. Like, we forget that type of shit. Because we think we done enough. We think we done suffered enough. We think our ego is solid enough. Like, nah, you can go through an ego death time and time and time and time and time again. It's not, life don't owe you shit. And you brought up a key aspect, service. Stress hitting you, you done lost your way a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But you good, you still on track. But you still was like, yo, let me serve somebody else while I'm not even in position mentally to probably serve. I'm upset, I'm stressed. Woe is me, yo. Life been life, and fuck it. Nope, I'm still served. That's character. That's the type of charisma that you can't buy. That's the type of results you can't buy in surgery. That's the shit you get from going through it. So, service, gratitude. These are the type of things, like, I look at people and I be like, I can understand why you have negative relationships with people and individuals. It's because, first off, you got a negative relationship with yourself and you got a negative relationship with the universe, God, whatever. Like, you feel like you're owed something based on what you're doing, and that's not true. Service, gratitude. People's prayers shouldn't even really be asking for shit. I keep it G with you. your prayer should just be gratitude. If we keeping it honest, and this is the God you serve, and you love this person, and all this shit, like gratitude. No one's thankful for anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? And we live in America. America got its problems, its social ills, its political problems, and all that. And sometimes I gotta check myself, and I'm like, yeah, but bro, like if you was in another country, you think the shit you going through right now is problematic. Wait till you go somewhere else and live there. And you know what I'm saying? Like you got rain because you're living in a hut somewhere, and you know you got to hunt for food or you know do something. We're still spoiled. We're not. We're so focusing on our problems. We're not focusing on the things we should be thankful for. So that's when life gives you something back. Is when you show gratitude, appreciation. A lot of us, we carry this energy into our relationships. We have great friends, great counterparts, people that we should appreciate on the daily basis, but we don't because we're spoiled. You think you're owed something, so you're going to shit on the people that you should be appreciating. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just think about that. For every Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, there's a lot of people walk around talking like that. Let's just keep it real. And did those individuals get appreciated fully by everybody in their family? I can guarantee you they didn't. I know that 100%. You have a martyr in your family, a friend you know that's great. You have all that shit around you, but you don't appreciate it because it's there. Too much access can make you weak. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan had this great quote, but it was like, yo, too much fun times make you weak. A man that over celebrates everything and has shit that's too great, he becomes a weak man. You lose your fight. You lose your grit. You lose the shit that got you the way you are because shit, life is too easy. So great men that I've studied don't wait on adversity. In a healthy way, they'll go find it themselves. Hey, look, I'm strong, results is popping, but today I'm going to challenge myself to lift an extra 25 pounds, 50 pounds. Today, I'm going to go for my max rep. Today, you know, that chick you've been looking at, she been looking at you, your rotation solid, life is good. But today, I'm shooting my shot. Michael Jordan, game 6, buzzer is going. I'm Ray Allen for 3. Sometimes you got to nudge yourself, even if you feel like life is great. Go look for a fight, positively. You know what I'm saying? Go get yourself in trouble. But that's when you know you living life on your edge, is when you welcome in positive adversity. You welcome in a challenger, a fighter. You're looking for shit to challenge you and make you better. You're not just getting too comfortable. So I'll shut up on that.
Oh man, that was great. That was great right there, man. Like I said, it's different challenges and stages in your life. So I would also say this: learn to put challenges in people's lives that are around you. That's another thing. I don't think a lot of people should. I figure like a lot of people should put challenges on people around them. Make people around you better, and you know what I'm saying. Make them learn to build up a level of resistance. Like I said, it's people gravitate to who you are as an individual, even if they don't know you too long, right? Conversations tell a story, right? And it's amazing that most of my conversations will start just over a compliment to a book, to what I watched on TV, and then it'll trend, and then it'll go somewhere to like, what you think about politics, or what about the situation you're thinking on? Now we're picking each other's brains, we're smiling, laughing, like, let's just change numbers. Like I tell somebody all the time, every time I go out somewhere, when I'm dressed up, you see me dressed up, got the cologne on, got the body oils, I'm out there shining and smelling good. Shoot, my goal is to get a contact that day. I need a new goddamn friend. I need a new friend. I like to challenge myself. It's like, I know they say like if you get a new contact for every week for 52 weeks, you know what I'm saying? That's a new chance to expand your connections, your friendships, your horizon. That's just me. I like doing things like that. And plus, I'm always genuine when I come off the basis of connecting. I'll tell you right off tops what it is I'm looking for. Hey, listen, I'm looking for friendships and stuff like this. Hey, listen, let's get a drink and let's see if we can bond over something else. Or I get direct to the point. I don't never like to just use people. right? My boy Gary Vee said it the best: jab, jab, uppercut. You know, ask. I mean, what he said, be a
Yeah,
servant,
yeah,
servant, and then you finally ask. You know, it's like give, give, then ask. Like that's the proper way of doing things, right? That's why I said in the situation I was in, I have these certain quotes that hit my mind every day. I do something to a point; it's just natural for me, right? That's why I said what happened today at the with the mechanic. I said, look, how can I be of service to you? All right. First thing went on my mind was, look, hey, listen, I'm going to buy your whole mechanic people some lunch or dinner. You help me out. You know what I'm saying? That literally went through my mind. I'm thinking maybe I get them some food. He just said simply, hey, just hey, a review would be nice. You know what I'm saying? You never know. The smallest things mean a lot to people, right?
mm-hmm.
One of the quickest ways I always tell people to network and get people in front of you, take them out to lunch. Who don't like free food? But then again, you also have people who like, yo, what is your conversation based off before I give you my time in person? That's why sometimes they say, like, listen, I can give you 3 hours of my time, or you give me 30 minutes of quality time to a point where it's solidified and solid enough for us to continue further in our life. Like, everybody wants to spend a lot of time, like they said, as long as you present, you're there. Yesterday I was out, man. I was present the whole time. Grab my phone. I'm talking directly to the individual, laughing, smiling, listening about the moves she's about to make. I said, congratulations. Like, hey, look, make those moves. It's going to be some resistance, but you're in a new market. These new markets require you to get around new people. To get around new people, you have to smile and play the game. And I always say, you can't cheat the game. I don't know how about people feel like they can. There's no way around it.
And, and two things that came to me when you was talking is the validation aspect. Like sometimes if you living within your purpose, walking within your truth, sometimes the chips just don't line up how you think they should based on your own timing. I've heard every person that made it all say the same shit. Like it didn't happen on my time. It happened when it happened. I had to stay consistent. I had to keep working, stay focused. So validation is critical. Sometimes we can live and die behind it. Sometimes when you do something just as simple as post that picture, you're looking for a certain number of likes. Yo,
Dopamine.
50, 100 people didn't like it. Nobody commented. It must not have been a good picture. Like when you took that picture, you knew that picture was popping. You felt the energy.
Yeah.
Your phone camera might have looked a little different. The flash felt different. Everything was right. But when you posted it, people didn't comment. People didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get validation, so you deleted it. You archived it. You got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you put in the work for something. It didn't plan out how you wanted it to plan out. Like you didn't reach that goal at that moment. You quit. You gave up. You got a problem. Like validation first comes from self in a positive sense, right? So if you know you're living within your purpose, walking within your truth, only you can validate that at a particular point. It got to come from you first. It got to be authentic. I can do a podcast. I could feel like, yo, this shit is like Malcolm X, 1963. This shit is Martin Luther King. I got a dream. This shit is Tupac, all eyes on me, right? I know I did my thing. Yo, I got 5 likes. I had 10 likes. I had a couple of hundred views. I ain't got a million followers. Who gives a fuck? Are, are you doing what you're doing for outside validation, or do you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing? This is when shit clicks and happens for you. A lot of people think that shit is going to happen on your time, and you're completely wrong. That's when you start to let your hair down, put on your best performance. You're an athlete. If you're on the court and you worried about the stats, quote unquote, you worry about all this shit, it's the crowd cheering for me, your mind not in the right place. You know what I'm saying? Kobe spoke about it a lot, tunnel vision. I practice so hard, everybody else is playing the game, I'm still in practice. I'm locked in, tunnel vision. I prepare, I'm focused on preparation and execution. The crowd don't even mean nothing no more. That's when you know you tapped in. You're on that frequency, you're on that vibration, you locked in, you tapped in. You tapped in to something within yourself. So when it comes down to performance, validation, whatever, if you're doing the right things, you know that you feel like you're doing within your heart, within whatever, you give yourself the validation within those moments. You don't look for the outside validation to put a stamp on what you're doing. Like, let's just say, um, one thing that caught me while you was talking, um, even in your low point, you still figured, I'm gonna offer service. And you ask the person, hey, what can I do to serve you? And they told you. Yo, that could have been the greatest thing you did the whole day. I don't even know if you thought about it. Yo, I asked somebody, what did they need me to do to serve them? And I did it. That's all the validation you need to be able to have that capacity of thinking and to execute. It's really that simple sometimes. So sometimes when you think you're in your lows, when you think you're not really performing, or you think you didn't do your best, somebody else could be marveled by what you just did. To you, it could be something you failed at. To somebody else, it could have sparked up some type of motivation within them. So just serving other people, living within your truth, being who you think you should be in life is just good enough sometimes in life. So what I'm saying is sometimes you can create a false sense of resistance that's not really there. You can think the world is resisting you, but it's really you resisting you. Because you don't know what you're capable of. You don't know your capacity, your ability to serve others, because you're not giving yourself the validation. So it shouldn't take $1 million, 1 million views, 1 million shares, 1 million followers just for you to feel like you are of service and value. So you
No,
got it,
man.
man.
I mean, I really don't have too much to say on that, but I would say anytime you go to resistance, always ask yourself, uh, keep in mind what's going on, your productivity. Always check your temperature. Check your temperature is everything when you go through resistance. Like I said, you can have a good conversation, bad conversation, and like I said, it'll spin out anything. Like I didn't have people call me when they was going through things. They talked the whole time, and it was just like, "Hey, I needed that," and I was like, "Yo, I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say anything." I was like small things. Like sometimes when people talk to me, I just realize, uh, instead of directing them with statements, ask the right questions just to make them think.
Mhm.
And when they can think, they can get themselves out of that loophole of being stressed out. That's the main thing. I can always tell you what to do, but that's not the correct thing. Maybe I should ask you, well, what do you feel like is your best action to get out of this situation? Now you're thinking on your own. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to learn when to direct with words and when just to ask the right questions. One thing about me, I always say, look, I got questions. I'm a very curious person. I want to know. That's just me. So
Mhm.
I kind of right there, reach and teach. That's definitely one of the things I like
Mhm.
to challenge people that's around me and make sure they're still developing. Like anytime I ever had somebody under my wing, I always say, listen, you want my assistance, you want anything from me, that's gonna come with certain actions. So if you're not prepared for it, then we don't need to go this route. Because now I'm gonna take it upon myself. I build you up as well. But at the same time, you gotta want to help build yourself. Right? If I lay the blocks for you, I need to know that when I'm not there, you still building those damn blocks. And that's one of the main things when I get involved with people. Once I see I'm doing too much of the work, and I might leave you with enough to sleep, and you just don't do it, it might not be for me no more. But like I said, I'll attempt several times before I realize it's not for me. That's one thing I used to do. I used to just give up on a lot of, not a lot. I used to give up on a lot of things, a lot of people back then, but then I had to check myself, like, am I giving it up because I really think this, or am I giving up because I'm used to somebody giving up on myself, on myself back then. So, it takes a lot of reflection when you go through things and understanding people's uh, past experiences is why they react the way they do. And that's the best way you can actually help somebody is learning their past experiences and then knowing how to navigate throughout that.
Nah, I ain't gonna say too much. I ain't gonna say this is my last point because it's not. I'll put it around a little bit, but I tighten it up. Um, that's kind of responding to one of the comments, like in the dating world, like understanding resistance. I said it earlier. Some people, they feel like in a dating life, relationship life, yo, look, I'm gonna just go out here. I'm gonna do what I feel is enough work on myself. I'm gonna stamp that. I'm gonna say I did enough, and I'm good enough for whatever I feel like I deserve, and I'm gonna just attract that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep working on me, and I'm gonna go out and attract that. Boom, it's gonna come, and then when I meet this person, we ain't gonna argue, we ain't gonna fuss, and we ain't gonna fight, because we just gonna click, and we gonna match each other's energy, and it's just gonna work. Bullshit. Like every person that's in a successful marriage is telling you, hey, look, it's nice. I ain't want to go home. It's some situations that happen. And I want to say, fuck it. Like people that's successful is going to be the good and the bad, but you don't circumvent the quote unquote bad. And this gives you an interpretation on a person's mental health is how do they conceptualize losses? If loss is in your vocabulary, I'm kind of weary of you. I'll be honest, because what the fuck is a loss? Like the most valuable asset you have is your time. So every second of your time, it should be for your improvement. It's not saying you're going to be a robot drone disciplined person 100% of the time, but even your fuck off time can bring value, time assets. All right. So being fearful of an experience and shortening the experiences and feeling like you're not wasting time does not make you a better person. It doesn't give you an A+ because you feel like you avoided something 100% of the time. So a lot of people get shit conflicted. They feel as though by running from everything, they're not wasting time. But sometimes time and experience and losses that you're afraid of is what gives you the character, right? For every quote unquote failed situation, it should give you a new perspective. Now, I'm not saying chase the win, be toxic. What I'm saying is just failure a lot of times is the only way to grow, even in the relationship world. So every experience should give you a new edge, new perspective, and you take that as an opportunity to open up a door for positivity. But you just don't run from everything and trick yourself into believing that you're doing the right thing because you're running from things because adversity is here, resistance is here. You get through the resistance. And even if you get through it or not, what is a loss? If you gained a new perspective, if you learned something, if you gained anything from a situation, even if you didn't gain what you think you should have gained, what did you lose? It only makes you stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just want to put that into the conversation. Like, for every great accomplishment somebody has made, they probably failed a thousand times. Jordan even said it. He was like, for every game winning shot I made and I get praised for, I miss I missed these many shots. I fucked up here. I fucked up there. This is what gives you the possibility to succeed. So loss shouldn't be in your vocabulary. Um, I would say um, the mentality that keeps me sharp now, being a person that I am, Kevin Samuels. I listen to a lot of Kevin Samuels.
So yeah.
His big catchphrase to me is winter is coming. It's coming. So you have some people that they fall in love with the Florida lifestyle, the Miami lifestyle, the California lifestyle, sun's beaming, weather's good, you on the beach every day, shit's great. Yo, winter is coming. It's gonna get cold at some point in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm the kind of person, I've went through phases. Hey, if I know winter is coming, it could be what I'm gonna freeze myself a little bit just so I could be a little ready. If it's cold outside, I'm just gonna stay in the cold a little bit just so my skin could just get a little bit used to the cold weather. That way when it comes, I can know what to expect. I don't just live in the sunlight all the time and just be like, oh, this shit is great. I'm tans is pop. That's not me. So what I'm saying is you have to keep that in the back of your mind. Winter is coming. So what do you do in preparation? Don't feed yourself a false reality the way you think life is just one thing, because it's not. Problems are coming. Obstacles are coming. Let's get ready for them. Let's train for them. That's why you have some people that train their body, train their mind. They put themselves in uncomfortable situations because they know life is going to throw it to them anyway. So the best thing you could do is in a positive state is prepare. You don't want to wait till hurricane season to go buy batteries, candles, and shit like that. I'm a survivalist. I buy water, candles, all batteries, all kind of shit. I'm the person that'll go buy rat bait, and I ain't got no rats. I'm living good. But if they come, I'm dropping packs. I'm killing them what did you say? I go buy bug spray. That's just, I'm that kind of, I'm prepared for everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you got to start thinking in life. Yo, when some shit come already. But just do it in a healthy way. You don't want to get so overwhelmed into that energy. You start welcoming in problems because you know what I'm saying, you're on some negative shit. But be prepared for shit. Life is on life. Be ready for it.
Yeah, no, you lost me, dog.
I ain't losing, man. Hey, winter is coming. It's gonna get cold. Get ready for the cold weather.
The winter is coming.
You're gonna listen to an episode just to finally say that. You be like, oh.
I just listened to that episode the other day. I listen to Kevin Samuels daily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to a lot of his old content. You know, the new content for the women, cool, but the old content, that's where it's at. When he's just drilling men. I talk to most of his men content when he calling men out. Look at you, you're sloppy. You're not doing. I'll be like, ooh.
That's what I mean.
Like,
yeah, that's
hey, listen, bro. The way he talked to men, you feel like he talking to you. You would yell back at the camera, at the screen, like, I'm doing stuff with my life, man.
Hey, man. I feel on a personal level, man. Even like how I just broke down that whole thing in philosophy. Like, that's how I learn. That's how I function. I had to start even realizing everybody ain't built like that. Like, some people actually function on the opposite. Everything going great. That's what keeps them motivated. And then when problems happen, they may not lose their shit, but they not looking like, oh, bet, I'm ready. I know how to do it. Sometimes they may need a different type of energy. So you want to be a life coach, whatever kind of coach, whatever. Don't always think giving people that hard truth is the way to reach them. Like, some people are just not ready for that shit. Right? That's just not how they function. Everybody's different.
Yeah, just pay me though. You still pay me, bro. But nah, man, that's it, man. Unless you got anything else you want to ready to throw in the mix, brother.
Nah, we can close it, man. We appreciate y'all in this episode, Understanding Resistance. Hopefully you walk away with this with some type of new positive vibrations. You ready to work on yourself. You feeling like you're never perfect. There's always work to do. Keep grinding, keep hustling. Keep facing the inevitable until you make it become normal. And let's have this type of mentality. Let's be warriors throughout life. Talking that talk warriors, preferably. Yeah, so take y'all over to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share the live, watch the live, give us comments. We like that. Talk to us, motivate us, keep us doing this. So, yeah, we appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all.